Coming up, the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada lands in Caledon, Ontario for the second edition of the Osprey Valley Open, presented by Votorantim Cimentos CBM Aggregates, where the fish is fresh, the competition is hot, and the players are wide open. All that and more next. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. The Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada made its sixth stop at the first Canadian course in the TPC network, TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley, a 54-hole facility designed by renowned Canadian architect Doug Carrick.
It's a little bit out of the GTA area, and I think was somewhat of a hidden gem for a number of years.
Carrick was inspired to create the first course, Heathlands, in 1992 after visiting Port Marnock Golf Club in Dublin, Ireland. His goal with Heathlands was to honor the traditions of links golf with windswept dunes and lurking pot bunkers. 10 years later, two more courses were added. The Parkland-style North Course and the Wasteland-style Hoot Course both added their own uniqueness to TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley. Being the 33rd course to become a part of the TPC network, it's been given a mark of prestige.
It's an exciting designation, and I think it's helped to put Osprey on the map. Having that designation, I think, will bring more recognition to Osprey Valley.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. What's up, guys? This is Reg here with Holt and Kohler. Got a little 3-hole match, one club. I think we all went with 7-iron. Let's get it going, boys.
Well, one ball down.
Holter. All about that balance. Cole, working on a little swing change this week, so this could go anywhere.
Cole went with the Capri look today as well.
Nice.
All right.
Looks like we found the heather. Not the first time.
A bit of off-roading for Will Register, who found the long grass off the tee on the Hoot Golf Course. A long putt for birdie, and Register could grab the early lead.
Do it.
Oh my God, stop it. Are you kidding me?
Oh!
An easy tap in for Register, but can Miller match?
Yeah. Oh. You're kidding me.
Standings through one.
Register, one up through one.
On the par 4 7th, a wayward tee shot left Ian Holt in the rough for his approach.
That's not good. Not good.
After landing in another tough spot off the green, he would go on to make bogey on his second hole.
Oh, that's money. Go in.
Whoa, too much check.
Meanwhile, on the green at 7, Register, the leader through one, was in a nice spot to make par. But his attempt fell short, and he had to settle for a bogey. Miller, however, managed to find a par.
That was huge. All square, baby.
Thanks to some crafty left-handed putting.
Thank you. Thanks.
At the final hole, the 185-yard par 3/8, Holt found the rough again.
I had to go for it. I had to go for it.
I know, scoreboard update. Holt has no chance.
Hold, I'm out.
With Holt out of the running, it was down to Register and Miller.
I mean, am I gonna get it there or what?
Wow, that was hard.
Can't watch.
Can.
Feeling pretty bad, but there's always next year. You can always bounce back. The inaugural 3-hole challenge. Thanks for
You gotta
coming
have a
out.
short memory in this game.
Gotta have a short memory on this tour. Over and out.
Coming up, players get to see how a partnership between Credit Valley Conservation and TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley is shaping the landscape in Caledon.
These are the places that I hold dearest to my heart. When I'm not on the golf course, I'm on a river somewhere. Preserving areas like this is very important to me.
When this is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada returns. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Bordering TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley is the Capstone Project, a 44-acre property in the heart of Caledon, Ontario, situated alongside the main Credit River.
It's going to help us do three really important things. One, it's going to protect brook trout habitat, so critical fish habitat. It's going to secure Credit Valley Trail optimum route. Credit Valley Trail will be a 100-kilometer continuous pathway from the hills of the headwaters in Orangeville, through Caledon, through Halton Hills, through Brampton, and ultimately to the shores of Lake Ontario in Mississauga. And best of all, it will help Credit Valley Conservation open up Charles Sorial Conservation Area. That's actually tucked in right behind Osprey Valley Golf Course. I think that this partnership with TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley is unique in the sense that it's an opportunity for absolute mutual benefit. I'm really proud to say that thanks to really great partners like TPC Toronto at Osprey, we've already raised $4 million of the $5 million goal.
Raising funds for land securement and environmental youth programming, enhancing conservation areas, and creating new trail systems are all part of the focus of the Credit Valley Conservation Foundation. Currently, the foundation is in full swing promoting its Protect, Connect, Sustain campaign.
We have an opportunity to partner with all sorts of different people in doing our work. And I think it's really interesting the different kinds of organizations that are expressing their interest in the environment and their willingness to work with us to do something meaningful. TPC and Osprey Valley was a partnership last year, and we're so proud that they're doing it again this year, because it really says that there's a give back to the community, and maybe there's an opportunity to leave a bigger legacy for an event beyond the day that it happens or the tourism dollars that come in. And so we're really proud and pleased that we've been selected to be their partner for this.
Land securement is a key priority to saving the environment along the Credit River watershed. And currently, the CBC owns and manages over 7,000 acres of land, representing 61 properties, including those along the Upper Credit River watershed area.
We're about 10 kilometers downstream from Orangeville, and up here we're in a cold water, headwater portion of the system, and it's a brook trout community, and they require cold, cool, clear, good water quality in order to survive. Because they are very sensitive, they're a good indicator species of the overall health of not only the stream, but also what's on the surrounding land. And they're a popular sport fish as well.
Looking for some of that cold water brook trout, Sam Ayotte, Andrew McCain, and Lee Detmer ventured down to the Capstone property to relax after a day on the course.
These are the places that I hold dearest to my heart. You know, when I'm not on the golf course, I'm on a river somewhere. I'm trying to get in the middle of nowhere, trying to experience some wilderness, you know, and some untouched areas. So preserving areas like this is very important to me.
We have, you know, a pretty busy schedule every week with whatever we're doing. So to be able to get out and kind of get away from the golf course and get away from the kind of grind that can be at times, it's nice to be able to go out and do something that's a little different and kind of take your mind off things for sure.
I got to just meet new friends, all have the same passion, and it's just a lot of fun.
The wonderful thing about the Credit is that the upper watershed is still fairly rural, natural, and contains all sorts of wonderful species. And when you can do those two things together, and you know, support fish and have golf at the same time, you know, what a great partnership that is.
Dawson Armstrong came into the Windsor Championship with 2 top 10s on the season. And on the final day, he found himself in the clubhouse with the lead. But victory hinged on one incredible shot by Will Register.
I was watching it from the back stands with a lot of the fans. I was really, really calm the whole time, and luckily I was, because if I'd have been celebrating before Will hit that shot, I don't know how that would have gone if he'd have made it. That would have been really tough. It was a relief, honestly, to have gotten that first win when throughout the rest of this year and last year, I hadn't had a top 5 before that. I had a lot of top 10s, been knocking on the door a lot lately, but to finally get the win and to really finish strong really helped out. Canada's been really good to me. The hosts that I've met over the last few months and last year as well have been amazing. They've treated me like nothing but royalty, basically, and I don't deserve that. Luckily, I'm able to, you know, represent America a little bit while coming up here. I would like to say this is it, but you know, we've got a long ways to go until the dream is realized. So this is just one step on that ladder. Hopefully we can make it up there. Come on now.
All right.
We deserve better than that. I've actually become really fond of grilling lately. For some reason, I'm pulling out my inner dad really bad. Well, I've got a dislocated middle finger, if that's something that's...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dislocated middle finger. You can see how the joint is really messed up right there. Ping G25, I've had this thing in the bag for about 8 years. Kelowna, no question. I'm sorry, I know you want me to say Windsor. Windsor's a great town. I know it was a great town, the people are great. Kelowna's my favorite city. I'm sorry.
Coming up, we're opening the vault and taking a look back at Tyler McCumber's past success at TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley. And later, with 4 top 10s through the first 6 events, Lawrence Chan is poised for a breakout season. Could a victory be on the horizon? We'll sit down with the UCLA grad next. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.
Every year that I was progressing and not backtracking, you know, always getting better slowly and sort of each step at a time. And it's really still my goal, just keep getting a little bit better, a little bit sharper, mentally, physically, just checking off all the boxes.
In this week's Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada playback, Tyler McCumber had an unforgettable run during the 2018 season. The first of 3 wins coming at the Osprey Valley Open, where he set a new course record in the second round, posting an impressive 11 under par 61. The following week, at the Syncrude Oil Country Championship, he made Mackenzie Tour history by becoming the first player to win back-to-back tournaments. McCumber lit up the leaderboard with 6 consecutive birdies in the final round and never lost momentum. His impressive run continued when the University of Florida grad teed it up in Winnipeg. McCumber posted a Sunday 67 en route to his 3rd victory in 4 starts. His stellar season-long play earned him the #1 spot on the Order of Merit, Mackenzie Tour Player of the Year honors, and of course, 2019 Korn Ferry Tour membership.
For me, I do want to be on the PGA Tour and I want to be winning out there. So this is the stage you have to go through, and at every stage, I feel like anyone who's really given me a lot of advice in golf, you know, from my dad to other players to family, friends, you know, they've always made it a point, you know, make sure that you excel at every level that you play at.
Becoming proficient at every stage of the game is key. And after posting 4 top 10s thus far on the Korn Ferry Tour, McCumber is looking toward the next phase.
I think now that you're seeing all these guys come through here and you realize, you know, this is where you're coming through, this is where you're learning a lot of skills, and then you can go use them on the tour. You're going through these fundamental, very strong building blocks that are, I think, really good for the self-belief in a player going forward.
Working to follow McCumber's tour trajectory, fellow Jacksonville, Florida native Travis Trace has climbed up the Order of Merit to 8th, thanks to 2 top 10 finishes, including a solo second at the Lethbridge Paradise Canyon Open. Coming off his victory in Windsor, Dawson Armstrong is trending in the right direction. The 23-year-old from Valdosta, Georgia, has 3 top 10s, and despite missing 2 of 6 cuts this season, he sits 3rd in the Order of Merit, in good position to move up to the Korn Ferry Tour next year. University of Minnesota grad Justin Doden has made 4 of 6 cuts, with 2 top 10s, a T3 in Lethbridge, and a T7 in Caledon, which puts him in the top 20 on the Order of Merit. The 24-year-old ranks inside the top 20 in both scoring and birdie average, and is definitely another young player to follow this season. Starting the season with 4 consecutive top 10s, Lawrence Chan is methodically working himself into prime position in the Order of Merit. But golf wasn't his first love.
I started swimming probably when I was like 4 or 5 or something like that. So I did that competitively until I was 12, and I was a state champion in backstroke, which was, yeah, it was pretty cool. I was doing swimming and then kind of started golf and then kind of doing both at the same time. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers, so at the time we kind of were all playing golf. My dad was kind of the started us all into it. And then I think just being the youngest one, it was a pretty easy choice, just kind of following my brothers. It came a time that I just kind of needed to decide which one I wanted to go with, and my dad convinced me by asking me, when I grow older, you ask your friends to play golf or go swimming, and it kind of made sense at golf, so.
Before teeing it up for the UCLA Bruins, Chan was a decorated amateur. And in 2009, at the age of 14, he qualified for the Sony Open in Hawaii.
He's got a lot of game for a 14-year-old. Made it into the Sony Open field by virtue of winning a qualifier for the Governor's Cup team. 12 members played for one spot, the amateurs. He shot 67 out here at Waialae that day.
It was sweet, like being at my home course, being 14 and kind of under the spotlight for a week was really cool, and I learned a lot. And I got paired with Jason Duffner and Ricky Barnes for 2 days. Unfortunately, I missed the cut. I didn't play too well, but that was an experience of a lifetime.
And that experience has served him well. After graduating from UCLA in 2016, Chan bounced around between Korn Ferry Tour qualifying events and the Mackenzie Tour, where he currently sits 6th in the order of merit.
I think what's helped me is I kind of have been playing a lot of tournaments throughout the year. I have conditional on Korn Ferry Tour, so I've kind of been doing some Monday qualifiers, so I've always kind of been competing, and that's something that helps with the confidence, especially once you kind of get it rolling. It's just day by day, even though you kind of have a bad hole or miss a short putt or something, it's just kind of looking at the big picture and say, hey, you're still playing pretty well, and just try to ride with that. It's nice to have a good start. I mean, we're all trying to finish as high up on the money list to try to help our way into the Korn Ferry Tour. It's a good start, and hopefully we got 8 more events. Hopefully I can sneak a win.
After the break, the action commences at the Osprey Valley Open, presented by Votorantim Cimentos CBM Aggregates. And everyone is looking to close out the first half of the season with a win. Can 54-hole leader Paul Barjon hold on to the top spot? Or will a new player make his way up the leaderboard? Watch the battle unfold next. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Coming into the final round of the Osprey Valley Open, presented by Votorantim Cimentos CBM Aggregates with a slim 2-stroke lead, Sunday was going to be an old-school brawl for the New Caledonia native, Paul Barjon. Carrying the red and white and playing in the final group of the day alongside Barjon, Canada's own Taylor Pendrith was on the hunt for his first professional title. And the pressure didn't faze the 28-year-old. He pulled even with the Frenchman by the 7th hole, posting a bogey-free 3-under at the turn. Still trading punches down the stretch, Pendrith added 2 more birdies on the back 9 to get within 1 of Barjon. But a bogey on 17 meant that he needed to eagle the par 5 18 and hope that the guy on the other side of the ring bogeyed in order to force a playoff. So how would the 54-hole leader respond? Waving the red, white, and blue and looking to keep the lead for a 3rd day in a row, Paul Barjon was focused on capturing his 2nd Mackenzie Tour title of the season. For him, the goal was simple: stay above the wave. After opening with a birdie, he was steady, carting 5 consecutive pars to maintain a 1-shot advantage over Pendrith. But the pressure of leading the pack for 3 days started to weigh heavy, and he dropped back into a tie with the Canadian after a bogey at the par 3 7th. What might have rattled some only strengthened his resolve. He countered with an impressive eagle birdie combo on the next 2 holes, regaining his 2-stroke lead by the turn.
When you think about it, you start with 2-shot lead instead of being 2 shots behind. And that's kind of stressful, but at the same time, you're a little bit ahead. It felt good. It was different than chasing someone.
However, he started off the back 9 stretch with a bogey, and his lead over Pendrith was back to 1. Clearly, it was going to be a 12-round battle, so he focused on the final bell.
I knew 25 under would have a pretty good chance out here. Everything was overall, pretty solid. Made the putts towards the end at the right moment.
And he did just that. With a final birdie on 18, the 26-year-old sealed the deal with a 67 and a 3-stroke lead ahead of Pendrith, who could only manage a par at the last to secure his second victory of the season. With the final 6 events on the horizon, the order of merit is changing. Maintaining their positions in 5th, 4th, and 3rd were Americans Jonathan Garrett, Alex Chirella, and Dawson Armstrong. And Paul Barjon overtakes Jake Knapp for the #1 position. We've wrapped up the first half of the season, and what a ride it's been. We kicked things off in Vancouver for the Canada Life Open, where Jake Knapp picked up his first victory of the season. Then it was over to Victoria, where the BC swing continued with the Bayview Place DC Bank Open, presented by Times Colonist. And Frenchman Paul Barjon secured a win after going low with a 65 to close out his final round. Next on the schedule, a stop in Kelowna, where Jake Knapp snatched up his second title and the #1 spot on the order of merit at the Golf BC Championship. And after 3 straight missed cuts to start the season, just when Alex Chirella looked like he was in danger headed toward the mid-season reshuffle, he pulled out a win at the Lethbridge Paradise Canyon Open. Over in Windsor, Dawson Armstrong claimed his moment in the winner's circle after fighting through a tense Sunday round to climb to the top of the leaderboard. And rounding out the champions for the first half, the season's second multiple winner, Paul Barjon. But the year is far from over. And with Corn Ferry Tour cards at stake, no one is in the clear, as a win doesn't guarantee a top spot. Watch the battle continue as we kick off the second leg with a brand new event, HFX Pro-Am, presented by Steel Jaguar. All that and more next time on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.